Welcome and hello. It's the agenda this morning on Dominion Brokers Group. I am Chike Ubogu. On the agenda this morning, we'll be looking at the PDP. Yes, I want to x-ray the crises and probable solutions of that party this morning. Well, let's start from the Federal Capital Territory, where the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, has taken a swipe at Rotimi Amaechi, the former governor of Rivers State, over his recent comments on hunger, dismissing them as politically motivated. We're speaking during a media chat. Wike said Amaechi could not have been hungry for food after 20 years in several political positions. Let's get to listen to Wike speaking on Amaechi.
Where you were borrowing money for exit bank loans, you didn't talk about hunger. 2 years you have left office. I'm in coalition because I'm hungry. You're only hungry of power. And that shows failure on his part. How do you look at it? How do you insult Nigerians? How do you trivialize the issue of hunger or poverty? Why do you do that? You're insulting Nigerians. You joined Atiku. You joined because you are hungry. Have you not insulted Nigeria? Just that you can't stay out of power. That's the hunger. You can't stay out of power. How would a man since 1999 to 2023 will stand before Nigerians who presided over billions of naira? These are the same man who on the national television told Nigerians he doesn't like money. Meanwhile, dollar was showing. Meanwhile, dollar. You are carrying dollar. And you are telling Nigerians you don't like money. What kind of country is this? And we are listening to that. And you said it's influential. What's the influence? Let me tell you what's the influence. You know, we overrate people. We overrate people. What's the influence? He was governor 2015. He couldn't produce a successor. He couldn't give his candidate, Muhammad Buhari, come up 25%. He was a sitting minister in 2019. No president had ever moved with soldiers the way he came with soldiers. He said he produced a governor. He couldn't produce a candidate. Again, his candidate Buhari didn't make 25%. He was the DJ of campaign. Again, in 2023, he came. Okay, this time around, I'm going to support Atiku. In PDP, thank God, we did not support PDP. If I supported PDP and they won, he would have taken the glory. We said, okay, we will not support PDP. They failed. They didn't even get 10%. So what is influential? It's just because, you see, look, I thank God he's in a coalition. I want that coalition. I've told Nigeria, look, I don't like this talking. Let this coalition, let them form as a team. Let them start from home. To start moving the president to. What is it you remove? You start from their home to remove him by making sure president loses the election. How could somebody come out on national television and tell Nigerians? If we want to remove the president now, we can. Is it a military coup? The word that word remover leads to dictatorship, to the military. You only use that word remove when there's a coup. I thought I may have said him out. But whichever way. Why would a man not talk about, you saw what happened in this country in 2015, 2019.
right, Jason Wike there vituperated against the former governor of Rivers State and former minister of transportation and the person of Rotimi Amechi. Well, it comes the backdrop of Rotimi Amechi celebrating his 60th birthday, saying that he's hungry as many Nigerians. Wike saying that Amechi had been in governance, House of Assembly Speaker from 1999 to 2007, became governor, a two-term governor from 1997 to 2015, where he then became minister in 2019 and also became an aspirant, presidential aspirant of the APC in the 2023 elections. All right, let's delve straight into the PDP affairs this morning. The People's Democratic Party, that's the PDP, once the dominant force in Nigerian politics, is now fighting for its very survival. Since its crushing defeat in the 2023 general elections, the party has been plagued by internal divisions, leadership disputes, and a desperate attempt to maintain its position as Nigeria's main opposition party. Are you following me? I need you to follow this narrative this morning. At the heart of this turmoil are influential figures whose personal ambitions are grievances, yes, threaten to unravel the PDP's legacy. One of them is still Nyesom Wike, the outspoken former governor of Rivers State and now serving as minister of the Federal Capital Territory under the rival All Progressives Congress, that's the opposition party. Wike's ties to another party have sparked controversy and deepened mistrust within the PDP. Then there is Seyi Makinde, the governor of Oyo State, who has become a rising power broker within the party, funding the National Secretariat and asserting increasing control over party decisions. Alongside Seyi Makinde is the former Senate President, Bukola Saraki, who faces the uphill task of reuniting a party riddled with factions and competing interests. Let us look at the G5 factor, which is a critical part of the story. A bloc that was once seen as a formidable force within the PDP. It paraded the likes of Wike, Makinde, and former Governor Samuel Otom of Benue State, Okezie Ikpeazu of Abia State, and Ifeanyi Ugwuanyi of Enugu State. Before the 2023 elections, they all stood together, asking for one thing, demanding the resignation of the party's then national chairman, Iyorchia Ayu. And what's their aim? To ensure regional balance after Atiku Abubakar, a northerner, clinched the presidential ticket. Their unity gave them strength, and that strength gave the PDP conditional hope. Not the APC's renewed hope, but the PDP's conditional hope. But then what happened? Interesting. You see these five men, their unity did not last. Wike's decision to back APC candidate Bola Ahmed Tinubu, a move that secured him a ministerial post, shattered the G5 alliance. What was once a united front collapsed into mutual suspicion. Many within the PDP saw Wike's actions as a betrayal, a move that fractured the party further and deepened its leadership crisis. The problems didn't stop there. When you look at the fragmented opposition outside the PDP, efforts to form a broader opposition coalition in time for the 2027 elections are also faltering. The vision was very clear. Unite against the All Progressives Congress, the APC. But the PDP's internal instability has delayed strategy, especially when it comes to meetings, and it has also disrupted their plans. But instead of a united opposition, what Nigerians see is confusion, competition, and even missed opportunities. And also, now that the cycle continues, division leads to weakness. Weakness fuels more division. And the people of a strong opposition slips further away. A shadow of its former self. From 1999 to 2015, the PDP was the ruling party, synonymous with power and national leadership. Today, that legacy is in jeopardy. For a nation once used to the PDP calling the shots, its current state raises serious questions, not just about the party's future, but also about the health of Nigeria's democracy itself. And then the question comes up, will the PDP find its footing again? Can it rise from this internal collapse and lead a united opposition in 2027? Or will the PDP continue to spiral into irrelevance, leaving Nigerians with fewer alternatives and weakening democratic choice? Well, let me take a glass of coffee. I'll be back in a bit. Stick around. We're still talking the PDP. Don't go away. Yeah, the coffee sure tastes good. Black, not with milk, shaken. Welcome back from that break. Still talking about the PDP. The PDP's recent attempts to heal its internal divisions have only worsened the crisis. The crisis deepens despite reconciliation efforts. In Lagos State, the G5 met and pledged to put their differences aside. For a brief moment, there seemed to be some hope. The meeting hinted at the renewed commitment to unity and cooperation. However, that flicker soon faded. At a follow-up gathering at the former Senate President Bukola Saraki's guest house in Abuja, key figures, including Wike, Makinde, Governors Umaru Fintiri of Adamawa State and Bala Mohammed of Bauchi State, and Saraki himself, reached a fragile agreement. They decided to recognize Senator Samuel Anyanwu as the party's national secretary, in line with a Supreme Court ruling. They also agreed to withdraw legal disputes involving Rivers State and abandon a lawsuit calling for a state of emergency. It seemed, once again, like the PDP might be turning a corner. But that fragile peace shattered almost instantly. The collapse came during the preparations for a PDP zonal congress in Jos. The invitation letter for the event was signed by the Deputy National Secretary, Architect Shetonji Kosheodo. It wasn't signed by Anyanwu. This technical violation went against the Abuja resolutions and effectively broke the legal terms of the agreement. What is INEC's case in this? The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, refused to attend that Congress. The backlash was swift and damaging. Are you following me? What was meant to signal party unity became yet another public embarrassment. It exposed the PDP's ongoing inability to follow its own rules. A party still locked up in a loop of conflict and confusion. How did the fallout come about? How did the anger get aggravated? The reaction was explosive. Wike, furious at what he called a betrayal of trust, withdrew from all reconciliation efforts. He pointed his fingers at the governor of Oyo State, Engineer Seyi Makinde, accusing him of orchestrating the breach. In a fiery statement titled "The PDP Crisis, My Position," Wike directly accused Makinde of undermining Anyanwu by promoting Ude Okoye as National Secretary and rejecting an Anambra governorship letter signed by Anyanwu. Let us get to listen to Wike vituperate against Engineer Seyi Makinde, the governor of Oyo State.
That I said that we had a meeting and we had an agreement. That meeting was held, first of all, in Lagos by myself, himself, the former governor of Abia, former governor of Enugu, the former governor of Enugu. That meeting concluded and said, look, let's move on and allow this so that the party can be focused. Then we came back, and there was supposed to be a meeting in the former Senate President's house, Bukola Saraki. But before that meeting, that particular date, we also met in my house in Abuja, where we reiterated that we have agreed on this, so let's move. That encouraged me to also attend the meeting in Bukola Saraki's house, and where we agreed on item by item by item. And then there was a meeting called by the Chamber of Governors Forum. In fact, Chamber of Governors, PDP Governors Forum was in that meeting, and where I was encouraged to attend the meetings. And I attended, and I met them. But it was to my dismay. And that, look, what do I agree is not what's come down. And by my investigation, which I said, look, you are my friend. It is not fair. We agree on something. Then somehow it turns out.
What did you agree on?
First of all, we all agreed that Sabayan, by the Supreme Court judgment, is the secretary of the party. Let us not allow the party to have rest. You see, forget about those who will abuse you. Yesterday, did I abuse me? Did I abuse me yesterday? They didn't abuse me yesterday. So don't bother yourself about people abusing you. They will hate you. You are the one who's carrying our party. You are this and that. Why did I say that? Because most people do not know. And when you don't know, the problem is not aware. Or they say, oh, this happened, this happened. So it's good to let the public know. See where we are. See what happened. See what did not happen. I read what one of his boys said. I've been seeing me all kinds of. Did you deny what I said? That is something matter. It's not about I'm a spoiler. I am this. Those are names you can give to anybody. Deny what I said. We did not agree. We did not meet. That is the issue. You can rain curses on me, no problem. In politics, if you don't want to be abused, don't go into politics. Yes. Judgment, no ruling.
Now, is there something of ambiguous interpretation? A lot of people who say the Supreme Court is saying that the lower court does not have the jurisdiction to determine party.
That's what. No. You see, that's the problem we have. Who went to court to challenge that Samaya is no longer the secretary? Who went to court? It is Governor Sheyi and his people and Mbada went to court at the State High Court. The State High Court said yes. By him running for the gubernatorial election in Imo State, that is due to have resigned. Samaya went to Court of Appeal in Enugu. There was a split judgment of 2-1. Samaya went to Supreme Court. And the party also went to Supreme Court challenging that decision. The Supreme Court said, look, first of all, the man who went to court, what is locus? Assuming there's even a crisis, it's within the internal affairs of the party. And therefore, set aside the judgment of the Court of Appeal. When the judgment of the Court of Appeal is set aside, what does it mean? Are you going to deny me the fruit of my labor? Now, what is the problem? What is the subject matter? Assuming they are not conceding, Niger Secretary position was not zoned to southeast. We didn't zone to southeast. It's a zone between the north and south. And the south came back to what we call Macrozoni. To say, okay, look, since Secretary came here before, let it go here. But not as a party, national party, that it was zoned to the southeast. It doesn't stop anybody from vying for that position. But what it means is that, yes, now look, for us to work together, allow them to bring the secretary. We went to the National Convention. And he was elected. Not appointed. He was elected by the National Convention. Now you now go and sit to say, oh, the Southeast has said he should no longer be secretary. Who says that? And somebody was elected in the National Convention. People just give all kinds of misinterpretation. Say everything that they want to say. It's not correct.
So the seat of National Secretary was not Abidjan zoned to the southeast?
No. There's nothing that we have never zoned regional. We zone north and south. Then when they zone to south or they zone to north, like the Niger chairman was zoned to north. When the north now met, they said, okay, let it come from north central. That's how you came. Then how you came and left. Now, the deputy national chairman of the party, by the constitution of our party, should be the one acting in order not to deny that, not to deny not of their chairmanship position. It is that. Now, when the North Central came up to talk, I said, no, you cannot appoint somebody to preside over those who were elected. It must be by election. How can these people who were elected, National Working Committee, you say North Central brought somebody when it was the entire country that voted for the national chairman, even though He comes from a particular region. Now, to tell you how funny they are, they said they had a NEC meeting, which is not correct. Look at the constitution of the party. Who issues notice of NEC meeting? Secretary of the party. And he never issued any notice of the NEC meeting.
But the deputy secretary issued.
How could he have? That's the point that we're making. How could he have? Under the law, the secretary is available. The secretary has not died as they want him to die. The secretary is not sick. Did you know he had the secretary say there's nothing like NEC meeting? A committee has been set up, headed by Bukar Saraki, to reconcile people. And they have said, look, they are not ready. Now, let me get you so you understand the whole scenario. How people shoot themselves. They set up a committee to go to INEC to verify, indeed, who does INEC recognize as National Secretary. INEC told them plainly, in fact, who led that committee that went on it was the governor of Enugu State. The governor of Enugu State, Peter Mbak. He was one who went to INEC, and INEC told him point blank, we cannot recognize anybody other than Sam Ayamu. 2, who signed the correspondence to INEC about the PDP's candidate for the 2027 election? It was the national chairman and national secretary, that's Sam Ayamu. How could he have signed something yesterday which INEC had recognized? Tomorrow you go a whole meeting that no, he's not the national secretary. Now you see the daddy man. Why most people are running PDP. And if it were you, I want to run an election. I want to run an election. And the law says, our party constitution says, look, it must be signed by the national chairman and national secretary to INEC. The two must sign, not one person alone. And INEC cannot accept any correspondence from the national chairman alone. The two must sign. Now, as somebody who wants to run an election, I have a fear. Take, for example, we have the area council election in Abuja. So,
All right, welcome back from there. You listen to Wike there. Wike is angry. Who will pacify Wike? What was once a strong political alliance between the two, Wike and Makinde, has now turned into a bitter rivalry. One rooted in power, loyalty, and deep personal mistrust. The G5, once a symbol of strategic strength, has become a battleground. Another loop of unity, followed by betrayal. Well, let's get to Makinde's camp. Makinde's camp has fired back in response. You know, his special advisor on federal constituency matters, Daria Deleke, accused Wike of aligning with the APC and attempting to sabotage the PDP from within. And I quote Adeleke saying, as former governor of Rivers State and now minister of the FCT, he appears to have turned governance into a personal enterprise. Nyesom Wike's recent outbursts against the PDP leadership are undemocratic and arrogant, aimed at weakening the opposition to secure President Tinubu's 2027 re-election. Governor Makinde has remained committed to the PDP, funding the party's secretariat and working to strengthen its structures. Wike's accusations are baseless and a distraction from his own alignment with the APC. The PDP is bigger than any individual, and Makinde's efforts are focused on rebuilding the party for the future, not tearing it apart. End of quote. This war of words has turned a political disagreement into a public battle for dominance, dragging the G5's legacy into the mud and weakening the PDP's credibility. Let's look at the division on display in the party. At the PDP's 99th National Executive Council meeting, it was held on Tuesday at the Legacy House in Abuja, after the party's national secretariat was sealed by the FCT administration. The divisions were impossible to ignore. Many interpreted the sealing of the secretariat as another sign of Wike's growing influence. Influence that was wielded from within the rival APC. Several party heavyweights, including former Vice President Atiku Abubakar, Wike himself, Anyanwu, Sule Lamido, and even David Mark, were all noticeably absent. Mazi Paul Ibe, Atiku's media advisor, claimed a scheduling conflict, but the absence of such prominent figures spoke volumes. Although the NEC, that's the NEC, approved plans for a national convention and announced the formation of planning and zoning committees, it postponed a decision on the core issues. Some of the core issues: the disputes over the position of the national secretary. Once again, the party found itself going into circles, meetings without resolution, promises without action. For many Nigerians, the message is clear. The PDP is under siege from within and without. The sealing of the secretariat symbolized external pressure, while the leadership squabbles represented internal collapse. It is a party caught in a vicious loop. Every step forward followed by 2 steps backward. Meanwhile, broader opposition efforts to form a united front against the APC are also faltering. A high-level coalition meeting in Abuja last Sunday, attended by PDP's Atiku, APC's Rotimi Amechi, and Abubakar Malami, and even Labour Party's Peter Obi, was disrupted by a heated argument among Jigawa State delegates over leadership disputes. And then you see it again. Once again, chaos took center stage. The scene mirrored the PDP's own dysfunction and raised doubts about whether any opposition force can mount a serious challenge to the APC in 2027. In the end, the message rings out clear, very loud. Personal rivalries, political betrayals, and broken promises have pushed the PDP into a downward spiral. And unless something changes fast by 2027, the party risks becoming irrelevant in a political landscape it once dominated. Well, let's keep this conversation going. You can follow us on all our social media platforms, on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. It's at Dominion Broadcast, And on the app X, it's at Dominion Cast. You can follow us on our website at www.dominion.org.ng. We'll keep discussing this. Chike Ubogu is my name. I'll be back here tomorrow. And the time is 9 a.m. I'll be back here tomorrow. And then we'll have more discussions on this. Enjoy the rest of your programs. Bye for now.